What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks. And we back in the building, you feel me? It's True Talks. Cause True Talks, alright? Let's get straight right into it. So you already know. I know a lot of y'all have watched, my last video that I dropped. Basically that in regards to Fred VanVleet and the issues that the Raptors might run into with now, focusing so much on Fred VanVleet and Serge Ibaka, with everybody coming off the board that is actually a good replacement for Serge Ibaka. And what do you know? Since I dropped the video, as I predicted, Serge Ibaka now goes to the Clippers. I didn't predict him to go to the Clippers, but I predicted that they're going to spend so much time on him, and then you're not even going to get him, and then his replacements that are actually of his caliber are off the board as well too. Then now you're going to have to sign lower tier guys to some contracts and, hope to try and be in the same position with these lower tier guys again next year before free agency comes, where, you need to now attract top tier talent. So that's what it came down to. Basically, as Serge Ibaka left, like I said, went to the Clippers for only 2 years, 19 mil. We'll discuss, the workings with that. Also, the Raptors in replacement of Serge Ibaka now, and Marc Gasol, they even lost as well too. Marc Gasol went to the Lakers, which I figured, you wouldn't resign Marc Gasol anyways, but he went to the Lakers. Now you lose Ibaka, lose Gasol, and then your replacements are, you re-sign Boucher. Obviously, he's going to play a backup Ibaka role. And then now you sign Aaron Baines to be your starting center. And they just added, Alex Len today. So you now have 3 bigs, but your 3 bigs are hella lower tier compared to the bigs that you actually had on your roster and you won a championship with. And give you the proper productivity and give you, the proper fighting chance in terms of being a high caliber team in the East, a top tier team in the East, and second round or better. Now you've dropped off a tier in your bigs while everybody else in the East has gotten better. So let's go into the context, because I give it that context. So let's go straight right into it. Basically, like I've been discussing, bruh. Let's start with Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka, like I said, has every right to, pick and choose, delay, do whatever he wants to do. Remember, I'm talking about in terms of the Raptors when it comes to what I think they shouldn't have done. But in terms of the individual player itself, VanVleet, Ibaka, Gasol, Lofton, and, all that type of stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. The more you loaf, the more leverage you get, etc. But even then, they're not even loafing, especially Ibaka was not loafing and wasting and taking time and waiting because he just wants to milk it. No, he actually wanted to come back. But like I said before in the past video, the Raptors just needed to ask Ibaka, what do you want? He says, I want a multi-year deal. They're thinking, you know what? Let's give him the bread for 1 year. That's good enough. They're thinking they can persuade him out of what he already said. This is my agenda and this is what I want. Instead of using IQ, because again, they're looking at the loyalty thing. Let's go for him. This is what we want. This is what we want. Maybe he might just give in. You don't move like that in business. They already told you what they want. They already have context of, this is the Raptors. I want to ring with them. I would like to, run it back or keep going and just keep playing with the Raptors. I love this organization. That's already given. Even before you ask them the question, they already have that in mind. So when they already told you what they want, you don't look at, I can change them from what they told me. No, they told you what they want. And I know that's how the Raptors move. You already know. I already know that's how the Raptors move. He already told them, I want a multi-year deal. And, they obviously chose VanVleet, rightfully so. There's less replacements, like I said in the last video. And then they're trying to just, no, we want Ibaka, we want Ibaka, we want Ibaka. Throw this at him, throw this. Maybe he wants more money. Give him more money. Give him this, trying and then wait for him to respond. Wait for him to respond while all these guys are just off the board, off the board, off the board, off the board. They're just gone, 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 gone. You know what I'm saying? And That's the mistake. Like I said in the previous video, if you haven't watched it, go check it out. That's the mistake that I said the Raptors have made. But even then, Serge Ibaka, I could even tell you, without even talking to him, I could tell you that Serge Ibaka, when you're an older player, you go for security more than just the money. You've already made bread. Ibaka has made bread. Even when he was with the Raptors, he was getting 15 plus mil. He has made bread. He won a ring, etc. He wants to be, when you're older, you always want to have decent money, have more years where you're guaranteed playing in the league because you never know, injury might happen. Like, you're more on the insurance side of things. Injury might happen. I might be fatigued. I might not be less athletic. I might play bad in a couple stretches. I want to have a contract where I'm guaranteed. Even like Danny going to the Lakers, didn't sign a 1-year deal. It's multi-years. You always sign multi-years for a decent bag in a contending situation. So you're still relevant as you get older. You're not in a doo-doo place where you just get in a bag, unless like you just want a ring or something like that. But even then, that rarely happens. It's more so you go to a place, especially in the situation of Ibaka, where you've been on a contender, you just were out the playoffs. You played a great year. Anyone who had bad years or whatever the case is, then a bad team just offers them the bread, and that's the most bread they can get. Obviously, as a veteran and you're older, you just go wherever the bread is. But still, it's multi-year. It's not bread 1 year. It's bread multi-year. But in a situation where you've been contending, you still feel like you have something to offer. You could be crucial. You're not just going to go wherever the bag gives you. You want to go with job security. That's where you want to go. And people who are there saying, oh my goodness, what went wrong? You know, the Raptors, offered him a 1-year deal. He signed with the Clippers for even less than what the Raptors offered him. And it was only, a 1-year player option. It's basically the same as a 1-year deal. That is cap. That is cap. That is no context. A 1-year deal is not the same as a 1+1. Yes. You have to look at it from an option perspective and multiple things. 1-year deal is 1-year deal. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. After this contract, after this year, it's done. We reevaluate you. 1 year is 1 year. If you paid Ibaka, even before I get to that, 1 year is 1 year. All right. A 1+1 is a 2-year deal. It's how the 2-year deal gets facilitated that makes it could be a 1 year or it could be 2 year, but it's still 2 year in principle. It's still a 2-year deal. It's not the same as a 1 year guaranteed after this year, you're a free agent. No, this is a 1 year, 1+1. I have control. Player option. It's a 2-year deal. It's not a 1 year. It's a 2-year deal. It would only be a 1 year after the 1 year I say, you know what? I'm going to opt out. I decide whether it's 1 year or 2 years, but regardless, it's 2 years. It's a 2-year deal. So what that means for Ibaka's case, when I mean security, he's obviously older. He's in a situation where, remember, when you're older, injury might happen. Anything can happen. So you go with security. He has a 1-year deal, right? 2-year deal with the Clippers, 19 mil. He's making whatever, 9 mil or whatever he's making a year. Close to that, 8, 9, right? So now he has 1 year. Let's say that 1 year with the Clippers, right? He does, he has a bad showing, or he might get injured. Knock on wood. I don't, hope injuring anybody, but I'm just doing a realistic assessment in terms of the players and agents side of things. You always go with the security in situations like this. Rarely do you see guys just bet on themselves unless they trust who they are, like Van Vliet in situations. But when you're of that caliber, you're older, you don't really bet on yourself, rarely. Unless you had a bad stigma like Rondo bet on himself, go 1 year over here with the Lakers. You're going to improve your stock. You've been injured a couple of years. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But when you've been a champion, you just won. You don't bet on yourself. You go with security. So again, Ibaka, 2-year deal with the Clippers. Let's say something happens. Knock on wood, injury or anything like that. Or he just has a bad year. He declines. It's a big decline. He's averaging from 15-8 and whatever he was averaging, which is decent. That's even starter type of center numbers he averaged, but he averaged that off the bench as a 6-man. Let's say he's in the same 6-man role, obviously. And let's say now he's doing 12-6 or 10-4, something like that. Like, it's not the same. The context is he's not going to go and opt out and be a free agent when he just played that bad because, one, not only is his stock going to drop just from his play, but now the next contract he signs is not going to match what he's getting next year with the Clippers, even though it looks like a lower tier deal right now, right? Not only that, you add another component and another factor, which is next year's free agency. There's a lot of top tier guys, a lot of mid tier guys. So already your stock's going to be low. Just even if you have a good year and you just be a free agent next year, your stock might not be the same as it is this year, like it was last year, just because of the field. That's a free agent. The rest of the field, that's free agents, are top tier caliber Rudy Gobert's. Like the list goes on. So he's looking at it from that perspective. Yo, am I going to sign a 1-year deal with the Raptors? And then next year, I'm in the same situation again. But yes, I got a bag for 1 year. But now next year, if I go sign, teams are going to be like, yo, Ibaka, stop this. I'm giving you 2 years, 10 mil, 5 each. Because, yo, you're what? D option. We have option A, B, C, D, E, and then we go to Ibaka based off next year. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know how he's going to play too. So it might even drop to he becomes an Alex Len or an Aaron Baines next year. In terms of everybody wants all these other guys, then last resort we pick you and we give you pinch. You know what I'm saying? That's the fear Ibaka is standing from in his eyes, in his perspective. So that's why he said, I'm going to do a multi-year deal. Raptors is like, yo, we don't want to do multi-year. We can persuade you, give you a bag, 20 mil 1 year. It's not about the money at this point. He made bare bread. It's about security. I want to be in the league for a little bit longer than what you're saying I could be in. I want to have security. I don't want to get injured and now it's tough signing a contract. Then I'm all of a sudden in a Melo situation or a JR situation. And then from there, it's hard to break. People need to understand it's hard to break narratives. Once one team thinks, or once a showing of you, even if it's a small fraction, when you're older, you're already at odds and at a disadvantage with your age. Any little thing in that way affects your, any little negativity other than your age affects you moving forward. Whether it's true, whether it's not, whether it's just a small sample size. It's hard to break out of that narrative now when you're older. It's hard to. Now when he does come, let's say he gets injured, nobody signs him like that or he signs a pinch contract. Now he's stuck in that pinch contract for a while. And it's hard. The more years go on, it's harder for you to get back to a normal contract that you were getting. Or a better contract because you're adding years to your age. People don't understand that. So and from Ibaka, he wants security, a multi-year deal. Raptors weren't giving him a multi-year deal regardless because they want to be able to be open to get in top tier talent next year. That's the whole point of everything. 2021 free agency. 2021 free agency. So Raptors already know it's a 1-year deal thing. Especially for an older guy. You're not the future of the team. VanVleet's the future, so he can get a multi-year. Not Ibaka. Ibaka will be 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. And they weren't going to do that. They weren't going to do that. So that's why I said the Raptors made a mistake. You already knew you weren't going to give a multi-year deal. You know Ibaka wants a multi-year deal. Just, all right, Ibaka, thank you. And go, like they did to Rondo with the Lakers. A man with Rondo made a statement. Before he even signed with any team, he already dropped the statement, thank you, Lakers, whatever, because they already knew what it was. They traded for him ASAP for Schroeder. He said, this is what I want. They said, we might not be able to give you that. All right, yo. Go get Schroeder. ASAP, that's how you move. Ibaka tells you what he wants. We want you, but might not be able to give you that, man. It doesn't fit our needs. You know what? All right. Go get Wood. Go get this person. Go get this person. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the Raptors dropped the ball because, like I said, I'm gonna go more in depth later. But like I said, if you drop off, because people don't understand how crucial Ibaka and Gasol were. Yes, Gasol didn't get up points like that, but Ibaka did. Ibaka did. When you have no superstar like that, your role players are crucial. Understand that. When Pascal Sussin, look at how many, go back and watch how many games Ibaka, offensive rebound, hey, with the hook, pick and roll, hey, with the hook, pick and roll, almost a dunk, but he drops it in, pick and pop, scoring, offensive rebound, getting blocks, transition, bruh. Gasol, defense, regardless if he's not shooting good. good interior defense. Only way he was looking bad was pick and roll with Kemba, elite guys where you have to hedge and gap pick and rolls, and he's not as quick. So then they had to, play Ibaka more, and even then Ibaka was crucial. And then obviously they put Pascal at the 5, which is still an option. But regardless, like, those two guys defensively, especially in the East, when you have Embiid who can break chests, Gasol automatically cut him off. Then remember, Embiid used to abuse JV. Go back and look. Embiid never struggled with the Raptors until Gasol came. That's what made now Raptors a better in advantage in terms of versus Philly. They had a better advantage because you had the Embiid kryptonite. Before that, Embiid only struggled versus Horford. Which is why they're like, yo, just sign this guy. He only struggled versus Horford. Everybody else, he broke their chest, go to the free throw line. Like, it was easy money. So you understand, those guys were hella crucial. Not only that, and they could shoot. Yes, Gasol, obviously at times, misses bunnies, and he doesn't make the shots or whatever. But defense, he was normally solid. And he could play make. Like, there's so many benefits that is hard to replace. Just in defense alone. Because Raptors pride themselves on defense. That's why they're in games. That's why they're not getting blown all the times. That's why they can come back. That's why they have a great regular season record. You get stops, which helps transition for Pascal. You get stops, defense, OG, defense. Pascal can play defense. Not the best defender, but he can play defense within your team. Powell can play defense. Lowry can play defense. Van Fleet. Every single player can play defense. Everybody on the court. Only maybe Matt Thomas. But that are the key components. Everybody plays defense. Now you have Baines, who, yes, he can play defense in terms of physicality, but I've seen him get dunked on 80 times by Giannis. I've seen him almost die 80 times by Giannis. Getting earthed. I've seen him getting destroyed. I've seen how many times. He's physical, yes. He'll body up. Bring some, and fatigue on guys' bodies. But mano y mano, he has good defense at times, yes. But he's not like no lock up, paint rim protector. Yo, this guy, we can't score on him. No. Multifaceted bigs will just pull him out and he's not signing his feet like that. That's kill season. Like Aaron Baines, don't get it. And Aaron Baines can shoot, but it's not like that. It's not like he's not, remember, it's not like he's not a good player. But to the caliber of what you had in Ibaka and Gasol, Aaron Baines is lower tier compared to that. Lower tier compared to that. Now, we move past the Ibaka, okay? Aaron Baines signing. Like I said, they're going to now have to give up money. Not OD money, but they're going to have to, like Aaron Baines, that contract is even, to me, is even overpaid than what he actually brings to the table. But you're going to have to overpay. Doesn't mean you hella overpay that where it's like, oh my God, what are we doing here? But you're overpaying what he's actually worth. It might be by a little, might be by 1 mil, might be by 2 mil, 3 mil, not that much. But you're going to have to overpay guys because of they're only what's left. I'd rather even have gotten Cousins to replace Gasol. I'd rather have gotten that because at least he brings supreme offense. At least. And then Boucher, you elevate to the role players or you back up to play a Ibaka role. I have no problem with them with the Chris Boucher. I expected that because I already knew you either get 2 bigs and Boucher stays where he is, or most likely you sign Van Fleet, get 1 big, you lose Ibaka, or whether Ibaka is that 1 big, and then Boucher elevates to Ibaka's role, Ibaka elevates to Gasol's role, or you get a big to replace Gasol's role. And Boucher is there. So I already knew Boucher was going to be something like that. And I knew Boucher was last resort. Look at the trajectory, how they handled things. Van Fleet, Ibaka, another big, then Boucher last. Like Boucher was obviously last resort. That's unfortunate, but just the hierarchy. That's how it goes in business and in, value in terms of what your stature is in this league, right? So I'm not mad at the Boucher backup big secondary. But now they brought in Len. So maybe Boucher's even still stuck in his role. I don't think so. I think Len is just an insurance policy in case, let's say one of them are injured, then maybe Len starts or Boucher starts and Len comes off the bench in case Baines gets, like, it's just an insurance policy type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But overall, like, the only way, like, so let me give a grand scheme overall view because people are looking at things individually. I'm not looking at things individually. I'm looking at both individually and overall in terms of next year and what they're able or trying to do. The Raptors right now have lower tier bigs, which could affect you next year. I'll talk about that after, but it could affect you next year. But the lower tier bigs you now resorted to signing because you want to wait and wait and wait for Ibaka, Wood off the board. People are like, oh my God, we couldn't have signed Wood. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? The only way Wood might affect is because it's going to affect like OG next year. Because OG's a restricted free agent. You know what I mean? He's going to want obviously more of a bag. Not the hella bag, but he's going to want way more than what he's getting. He's only getting 3.8 mil. You get what I'm saying? He's going to want way more than that. So obviously you signing Christian Wood and trying to sign a max guy next year is, oh my God, can we sign OG? Y'all, like, people like this, Raptors fans don't think. And this is one of my problems with Raptors fans. You overboost things and y'all don't think. Y'all don't think. There's time. You have to understand. When situations come up, you can't harbor. It's like, you know, those people at their house, it's like they want to get they want to buy something new, but I don't want to let go of this couch though. You can't harbor that. When a new deal comes for an elite couch, get rid of that shit. That's how it moves in business. That's how it moves. Yes, OG is solid. He's a premium 3-and-D guy. He's one of the best 3-and-D type of players that are out there in the league. Like, he's top tier. Him, Robert Covington, like, those are the top tier class 3-and-D guys. All right? And there's guys of his level. Wes Matthews maybe slightly under it, but those like Covington, OG, like, you know, Ariza, Ariza maybe might be declining. He's older, but, you know, those are the top tier guys. All right? 3-and-D guys. Like, that's what if you're a 3-and-D player, you aspire to, you know, I'm going to work and grind. I'm going to be like an OG. Obviously, OG doesn't have a big name, but he literally brings the production that Robert Covington might be. Like, Covington is the premium 3-and-D guy. OG's in that class. All right? So, again, yes, he's premium 3-and-D, but 3-and-D is a role that is lower tier on the value of all the other roles of NBA players. Elite point guard is a high role. Superstar, you know, superstars, whether scorer, wings, bigs, like they're all higher roles than 3-and-D because 3-and-D is lower tier on the role play. It's a role play and role. Even if you're the best 3-and-D guy of all time, like we say Robert Covington is the best 3-and-D guy probably right now. He's still a role player. He's a hot commodity, but he's still a role player that eventually is getting traded. He's a role player because people think we can replace him. There's so many 3-and-D guys out there. You're more replaceable. Superstars aren't that replaceable. An elite big is not that replaceable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand the role play and role. Role play and role, you're still, even if you're a premium at that, you're still a role play and role. OG is going to his trajectory. He's not ever going to be an all-star. That's cap. Even his mechanics and his dribbling mechanics, like, even if he was on a team by himself, he's still going to be limited with how he scores because now he's going to be the focal point. They're going to try and shut him down. Like, people need to understand that, yes, him getting work and getting buckets in a situation with the Raptors is different than, oh my, Raptors fans always just go, oh, potential. He can be this. He can be little Kawhi. They're like, stop this bullshit. OG, I like him. He's so crucial. When you have a solid team around, he's going to get hustle rebounds. He's going to get, you might, you know, that even that point would save them from getting swept with that shot at the end. The point, whatever, 0.9, 0.8, whatever, 0.7. He's going to play solid defense. He's going to, when man's palms are sweaty, he's sometimes going to hit threes, hustle, and he's going to be the one with 10 points all of a sudden. Like, he's crucial like that. Like I said, Covington type of status. Not a sniper like Covington, but Covington type of status in terms of defense and the whole nine. So when you look at it from that perspective, he is someone who's crucial. But he is not someone that I'm like, oh my God, I can't sign this guy because I have OG there. No, we can replace him. If you give Stanley Johnson a starting role and give him the same minutes as OG, he can do what OG's doing. Let's be honest. Stanley Johnson, they even look the same on the court. The way their stockiness, their size, 6'8", both of them. Both can defend, premium defense. Obviously, Stanley has been missing and has, you know, because that's a whole different context. The reason why he looks fugazi sometimes. Because he expected to be what OG is, and it's like they're shutting him down. He only plays in blowouts. What the hell? What am I, like, you know? It's mental with him in terms of, it's just, you know, he's just unhappy. Because in the NBA, he was supposed to be a solid, like, he was drafted to be an elite guy. Or at least, you know, more than what he is. So that's a whole different context. But if you gave him, say, oh, you know, Stanley, OG's gone, you're the starting small forward, he'll look like OG. And he can even shot create even more. But he'll look like OG. I'm telling you. There's a reason why Stanley's at these other runs that all these other mans are at. There's a reason. So I'm just saying, he's replaceable. Even if you don't think Stanley, okay. There's other guys. There's other guys. Not only that, next year, if you were to sign Christian Wood this year, yes, you could bite, you could bite the bullet for next year, maybe like OG, because you're not gonna go sign OG to bread and then still have money to sign a max. The max you sign will replace OG anyways. Let's say Kawhi came back. He replaces OG. What do you don't need to sign OG. Like, that's not the priority in this. You understand? In this situation, OG is not the priority. Yes, oh my God, there's always Raptors fans, OG, but OG. It's not that serious. You have to understand. It's not. Y'all forget that the Raptors won a ring without OG. Yes, doesn't mean OG's not crucial. Doesn't mean OG's not a great guy. But to show you that these guys are replaceable, that's my point. When you have a superstar like this caliber, OG can be replaceable. You won a ring. You literally won a ring with OG playing 0 minutes. 0. That's why OG was hurt by that, because it was like, oh, damn, am I needed? 0 minutes. Remember that. 0 minutes. That's exactly what happened with Oubre. They went 8-0 with Oubre playing 0 minutes. Yes, he's crucial, but it's like, yo, do we really need him? That's what happens when a team is thriving without you. Do we really need this guy? Unless you're a superstar talent, when you're a role player and the team thrives without you, your stock drops with that team. It's still crucial with other teams because they know what you do, but you're more so just an asset now in terms of trading. We've won without you. I don't need to hold on to this. If I could get better for that, flip Chris Paul instead of Oubre. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how it moves. That's the business side of things in terms of what's happening in the NBA. You have to understand that. So again, going for Christian Wood in that moment, even if you have to pay him $15 million a year for the next 3 years, that is worth it. Because now you next year, in the free agency class, you have money because Lowry comes off 30. And people are like, oh my God, the money, how does it work? Do you understand? The Raptors have had a roster where Lowry got 30, Kawhi got 25, Gasol got 20 to 25, Ibaka got 15 to 20, whatever it was. You get what I'm saying? And Powell still had his 10, and then everybody else. That's 3 guys. Take it in. That's 4 guys. That's Lowry 30, Kawhi 25, Gasol 20 something. That's 3 guys in 20 plus, and Ibaka almost 20. That's 4 guys between 15 plus to 30. So you could do the exact same thing with this newer roster. You have, because if you let go of Lowry goes, he's off the books. You have a new guy coming in, which is 25 to 30, or whatever he's making. A new superstar you go for, right? Next year, let's say you sign somebody and he gets the max. He's getting that 25 to 35, whatever range. He's getting the Lowry money now. Okay? He's getting that. You have Pascal at, what is he making? 30, right? He's getting a Lowry type of money, right? So you have a Kawhi, Lowry. Now that's then Pascal, new guy. A bit more, but okay. All right? Then you have Van Vliet at his 20. So he would be like the Gasol. He's at 20, right? Then you have Christian Wood making the 15. He would be like the Ibaka. And then you have everybody else. You could still do that. And that's where I envisioned you signing Christian Wood in a 3-year deal will not affect you signing a superstar guy. As opposed to, I'm signing lower tier guys. And then next year, as in free agency, I'm going to now try and sign OG, try and sign a big, and try and sign a Giannis superstar guy. The chances of you even, especially as the Raptors context, the chances of you even getting one superstar guy is still slim. Your own guy Kawhi left you after you won a ring. The chances of you getting a superstar just saying, yo, I'm going to go to Toronto. I don't even remember when that's even happened. We normally have to get guys through trades. So the fact that you're relying on even getting one guy in free agency, that's all it should be, because that's already slim. You shouldn't have to rely, oh, we're going to try and get that guy and now try and get a solid big. You're going to add more to the plate when it's already unrealistic trying to get one guy? Your whole MO is supposed to be, we're a solid team, we're second round or Eastern Conference every single year, ever since we won a ring. We just missing one piece. You don't want to now come, we're missing two pieces. That's the fear and the threat that the Raptors are might be in. Like, if the Raptors don't, like, you understand, the Raptors have lower tier bigs, which could affect you easily. Can affect you to now dropping from they were what, second seed? You can now drop to bottom 6 to 8, 5 to 8. Where now you exit first round. You're not Brooklyn, where KD, Kyrie's still coming. Where all you needed to do was be in the playoffs. No. You were here. Now you drop here and now you want to think you're going to get free. You think you're going to be attractive when you're already Toronto outside the country? In terms of US players, you're already that. Now you think you're going to be attractive with a losing situation? Yo, we're going to get a superstar though. That's why I said getting Christian Wood. Even Tristan Thompson. My God, even Nerlens Noel. Obviously, he doesn't fit with Pascal, but damn, god damn. Maybe his defense is so elite, maybe it still works. Pascal, just work on your shots. Like, you can still find a way. But at least they're still decent mid-tier bigs. They're not lower tier, like bottom tier bigs. Like Baines and they're bottom tier bigs. Let's be honest. They're bottom tier bigs. That's why they got away with signing them for that 14. Like, they're bottom tier bigs. And the mid-tier bigs you're even looking for, or top tier bigs, didn't even sign for bread. They didn't even sign for bread. So look at it from that perspective. That just shows you these mid-tier bigs didn't even look at Toronto to come. What makes you think a superstar is going to look at Toronto to come? I'm just being realistic. I'm just being realistic, because a lot of y'all, you know what I mean? It's just, the IQ is not working. It's just fandom and fandom and fandom. But y'all are it's just heart and no mind. Y'all now having these lower tier bigs, if y'all drop off, it's going to affect you signing people from next year. That's not how you play it. You want to still play it where you sign someone under the radar that's elite, but under the radar, like Christian Wood, perfect. Just like how you signed Van Fleet before. Just like how you had Pascal before. Under the radar, but the production is going to do way more than their contract. That's a steal. And then you're still going to be in the solid same situation. You're guaranteed second round. And now if you lose in the second round, okay, that happens, but still. And then you advance, and then you can now have the play of, yo, we're a team missing one piece, and you only have to go focus on one guy. Y'all think they're going to sign a big next year, a medium big, or a top tier big, and a top or medium superstar as well too? Y'all, bruh. That's what I'm saying, man. The Raptors, the only way all of this pinch money and lower tier guys in terms of bigs and everything works out, the Raptors better. You better. I mean better. You better sign a superstar next year. Even if it's not a big. Don't matter. You better sign a superstar. If the Raptors don't sign a superstar next year, and all of this was for no reason, I'm gonna eat through somebody. I'm letting y'all know from now. If all of this was in vain for no reason, you just sped up the rebuild. That's what you did. That's what you did. All because of no IQ. In order to be what I'm saying, these moves, all you have to do, go for Christian Wood. You get Christian Wood. Your team is still solid. You're still in a situation to be in the second round. And now you can still go for a superstar. And even if you don't get him, you're still solid. You're the same team. But now you want to let everything go. Yo, next year, go for lower tier guys. You might drop off in your season. And then you might still not get somebody next year. And then what? Eventually, you're going to have to package these Pascals and these guys and start rebuilding. Like, what are we talking? You could have had a route where you appease both things, winning now or decent winning now, and still able to get a guy next year. But you went the route of, no, we might not even be winning now. Well, I'm not, when I mean winning, I mean a drop off. Like, you're like lower tier terms of playoffs. And now you still might not even get someone next year. But not only that, you have to get two guys next year. You have to get a big and a scorer. Or a wing. Bruh, it's crazy, man. and still sign OG. 3 things. You have 3 things next year on one free agency. When you're the whole point, that's why I said, you're supposed to set up your free agency. You're supposed to set this free agency is correlated and is basically attached to next year's free agency. You're supposed to do a smart, crucial, low-key move this year. When I mean low-key, I don't mean Aaron Baines and them. That's not low-key. That's not even low. That's not even key. That's just moves. When I mean low-key, I mean like Christian Wood. He's low-key under the radar, but hella impact. That's what I mean, low-key. Even if it's a Tristan Thompson. You know what I mean? A Nerlens Noel. Cousins. Giles. The list goes on. Bruh. Aaron Baines? Baines. Y'all see, man. Like Aaron Baines is a great backup big. If you sign Aaron Baines, if you sign 2 bigs, you sign, let's say Cousins and you sign Aaron Baines, okay. Cheap. Cousins can start. Aaron Baines can come off the bench. He can play the Ibaka role. He's a good backup big. You're starting big and hope to go to the playoffs like that? Even the Celtics never started him like that. What are y'all talking about? Only the Suns started him like that. We've seen what the Suns was doing. What are y'all talking about? Like, bruh. Anyways, it's True Talks, because True Talks. Share, like, and subscribe. You already know. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep, trying to get as much work as I can out there. As much videos as I can. You already know. We out here. There's no doubt here. There's no drought here. Bro, the Raptors are in the threat, man. They're in the threat of, like dropping off. Like the East has gotten better. Like it's going to be tough, man. This is like, you don't understand how crucial Ibaka and Gasol were. But we'll see, man. If I'm tripping, let me know. Like, I'm not happy with these moves. The only way I'll be happy is like a year from now. If you don't get a superstar, if you don't get who you're trying to get, I promise you, this is going to be one of the worst setups of all time. I promise you. I promise you. Because Raptors never needed a superstar big. You needed a mediocre to good big. That's how the Raptors want. Gasol and Ibaka, they're not premium Rudy Gobert type of bigs. They're not all-star caliber bigs anymore. They're solid, crucial, very good bigs. That's all you need. Christian Wood is that. And Christian Wood even has potential to even be an all-star in the East. They dropped the ball with this. The only way they didn't drop the ball, we'll find out a year from now. But I promise you, if they don't get nobody, y'all heard her here. If they don't get nobody, if the Raptors don't get anyone, bruh, you're in for a rude awakening. Anyways, it's True Talks, because True Talks, you already know, man. And I'm out, man.